If you understand rock, paper, scissors, you actually understand one of the foundational aspects of our government. And yet, a lot of people who understand rock, paper, scissors don't seem to understand this part of the government. And pardon me while I let Reggie. She loves to be held for short periods. She's also learning her computer keyboard skills. All right, I edited a bit. Joy of cats. Meanwhile, rock, paper, scissors, and the federal government. More in common than you might think. And I'll get to all of that after I say that I am Forrest Poston, for whatever difference that may make. And this is the Thoughts and Mutters channel, where my mind goes out to play, sometimes lets me go along, and sometimes I find my way back. Please click the thumbs up button, the subscription button, notification bell, and share, make comments, tell your friends, and well, there will probably be a buy me a coffee link someplace in the description or comments or both if you would like to support the channel and Reggie and her fellow furkin. Now, rock, paper, scissors. You probably know about it, at least if you live in the U.S., and if you don't know about it, you need to watch the movie Tremors. And if you haven't watched the movie Tremors, you need to watch it anyway. Simply put, rock breaks scissors, scissors cuts paper, paper covers rock. Now, in all of that, which one dominates the other two? None. In any given situation, any one of the three can win or lose. They have different aspects, but they are effectively equal because there is not one that you can pick and always win. It's not like tic-tac-toe where you have to go out of your way to have anything but a tie. You can play rock, paper, scissors forever and just keep getting different outcomes because they are equal and separate. And that is how our government was set up. Executive, Congress, legislative, and the judiciary. Each one serves a role. Each one has certain things that they're not allowed to do or not supposed to do, and things that are their territory that the other two aren't supposed to encroach upon. It takes all three of them to run the country, and neither is above any other. Now, why is that easy in a game and hard in government? I think it's a matter of hierarchy. And well, I just said that there is no hierarchy in rock, paper, scissors, or the three branches of the federal government. The thing is, we've long been taught, and I'm not talking just about the U.S., I'm talking about human history. We've been taught to think in terms of hierarchy. There is always someone or some group at the top, and then there are stages of lower and lower. And the farther down you are, the worse it gets. And we're used to that. We don't necessarily like it. And at times there have been revolutions, outbreaks, strikes, whatever, because somebody gets real tired of shit running downhill. And on the other hand, we still kind of hold on to it because we keep hoping we'll get close enough to the top to share the real benefits. And of course, we keep getting told that we can get close to the top, even though typically the people at the top are doing their darndest to keep us, farther down on the hierarchy, the ladder, whatever you want to call it. So that was part of the brilliance of those who wrote and revised the Constitution. And of course, that was our second attempt at starting a government. The Federation didn't work out, and I haven't really taken a close look at it, but the Constitution has endured partly because it is not a hierarchy. Each one checks and balances. You've heard that phrase, and it is critical. But how do we live with a government whose very nature is counter to what humans have been raised to think about for well over 2,000 years? We're going BC, or BCE if you prefer that. And because we have people who deeply believe that the president has more power than anybody else. And it's not true. The president has different power, but many limitations. The president does not get to interpret law, despite recent claims. That is the judiciary specifically. Legislature makes laws. If the president signs them, or they, get a vote to overcome a veto, it becomes law. And the president, the executive branch, runs the country based on laws that the Congress has written and passed. And Congress controls, by and large, the money. Taxes, where money is spent. Of course, everybody fights over that, but largely Congress has that in their field. And then the judiciary decides, first of all, whether or not a law is lawful. Is it constitutional? And does it apply? They are the ones who interpret. So there is creation of law, interpretation of law, and carrying out law. And that's what the executive branch does. Rock, paper, scissors. Everybody's got their territory. We need and expect a president to lead well, which can be tremendous power. But the president does not have more power than the Constitution gives. And it is a very, it is a defined area. So we have to stop thinking hierarchical and yet still be thinking in terms of organization. If we go back to when the Occupy movement started, one of their big things was that there was no leader. Everybody was equal. Everybody spoke for the movement. And that's just stupid. Didn't work. It was the downfall of the Occupy movement. Too much organization, too bad a structure, a rigid hierarchical structure tends to be a problem. But getting rid of all structure is not the answer. Redefining, reconceptualizing what order is and trying to find organic order that changes as it needs to change. And that's a tougher concept, but it's where we need to move to. But for now, we need to stop teaching hierarchy as a way of life, as a way of thinking. Now, of course, our education system is hierarchical, so it is kind of tough to do that, but that is where we need to go. All right. I appreciate you watching. I hope you'll check out some of the other videos. They cover everything from education, writing, and stupid stuff that I have done. Fortunately, most of it was years ago, but not all of it. And I hope you if you're interested, check out my other channels, which include Hyperthyroid Cats and the Teak Talking, or GenForce Teak Talking, about mostly pottery and glass, but a lot of other things and antiques as well. Meanwhile, I'm going to think of other things to talk about and spend some more time with Reggie if she'll let me. So long.